Okay, so next thing we're gonna make is a winter citrus salad. It'll be a nice complement to the hearty roast beef sandwiches that we're gonna make with a creamy horseradish sauce. One thing I also like to do before my guests arrive is have a glass of champagne. Helps calm my nerves. I don't get too stressed out. I think it's really necessary. If you're not drinking, just put something fizzy in your cup and it will have a placebo effect. I'm telling you, it really helps. So I've already gone ahead and supremed some of the citrus. We have navel oranges, a pink grapefruit, and I'm also going to show you how to supreme a white grapefruit. It just looks really pretty. It gets rid of those white pithy parts of the citrus so that you don't have to chew through something tough. And it also makes a delicious vinaigrette with the leftover juice. So the first thing I ever learned how to do in a restaurant kitchen was how to prep fruit for salads and brunch. So how you're gonna do this supreming of citrus is you're gonna take the citrus, cut the tips off, the root and stem, and you wanna make sure that you cut enough off that you see the fruit. So this is not enough. So you wanna cut a little bit more until you can see the flesh of the fruit. You're not wasting it, don't worry, this part is inedible. If you're gonna do something with the zest, you wanna make sure you zest it first. That way you're not trying to zest an already cut piece of citrus. It's kind of difficult. So then you're gonna take your knife and you're gonna follow this white part around and just take all of the peel off. So I'm gonna start over here. The first part's always the hardest. And then you can just follow that as a guide and you can just cut right down this side. So then you want to flip it over and just get these ends that you may have missed. Sometimes it's hard to see, especially when you're showing it to the camera. Okay. Now, we're going to supreme it. We're going to take our knife and follow the lines in the citrus and cut just inside of both of the lines so we don't have any of that chewy skin and pith inside. So I'm going to take my knife, follow right along this line here, cut all the way down into the center, and then cut on the inside of the other line. Kind of cut through. And you'll have this beautiful segment once you cut it enough, like this. Okay, so we have most of our supremed pieces out. So I'm gonna take what's left in my hand and squeeze it into the bowl that I've already reserved the rest of the citrus fruit in. So just squeeze it in. It makes for a really nice accompaniment to the vinaigrette because you need some citrus anyway, so why not use what you already have? This is a juicy one. Okay. So, we've got our citrus in here. It's pretty juicy. So that'll be nice. We'll put it over some greens. And I'm gonna show you how to make a quick vinaigrette after I chop some onions. I think red onion with citrus is a really nice complement, but I also have a trick for you on how to get that really oniony, really tangy flavor out of it so you don't have onion breath all day. So we have half an onion here that I already had in my fridge, so I'm gonna utilize it. We've still got the root part attached, so I'm just gonna slice that in half. Then I'm going to remove this outer skin. Even if you've already removed it, but you have half of it in the fridge, always take that first piece off. It can get a little weird in the fridge, a little dry, maybe a little slimy. So you just want to discard that. Now I'm just going to take the onion and I'm going to grab onto that root part with my hands, and I'm just going to cut really thin slices because you don't want a huge chunk of onion when you bite into a citrus salad. So just keep your fingers in, keep your knife on the board, and just do nice thin slices. You want to work sort of in a wheel motion. You want your hand to go sort of in a circle, like a wheel. That gives control of the knife, so you can cut some nice thin slices. Then when you get to this part, just drop this little nub down on its side so you don't cut your fingers, and just cut some thin slices. Okay, so this is a good amount. We just want a few. It makes it pretty, gives it a purple color, but I'm gonna dip these in ice water. This is what gets rid of that zing. It gives you onion breath. It's my favorite trick. Takes no time. It'll save you from an embarrassing moment if you have a date. All right. So while those soak, I'm gonna show you how to make the vinaigrette. Get a jar. This is your best friend when you make a vinaigrette. It's so simple. You just need a jar. Then we are going to use about maybe a 1/4 cup of the reserved citrus. I'm just gonna pour it in here, pulp and all. I do want to avoid any seeds though. So we'll start with about a 1/4 cup and then taste it, and if it needs more citrus, we'll add some more. We're also gonna add sherry vinegar to it, so that gives it some more acid. This is a tablespoon. I'm gonna add a 1/2 teaspoon of honey. This is local honey from DC. Support the bees. Another great thing about using the jar is when you shake it, it helps all of this stuff dissolve, like salt, honey, if you use sugar. Then we're gonna add a pinch of salt to start. We'll taste it afterward. And some pepper. And I'm also gonna cut a lemon because it has a brighter acidic flavor, but we're gonna taste it first. So I'm gonna use olive oil. Another controversial topic is usually dressings are 2 to 1, 2 parts oil, the rest is 1 part. I think that's too much. I don't use as much olive oil. I like really bold, flavorful dressings to stand up to whatever else you're putting in it. So I'm gonna do about 2 tablespoons to start, and you can always see how much oil you have to vinegar because it floats on top. So I'm gonna make it more like 1 to 1 to start. This is extra virgin olive oil. And I'm gonna put this lid on and just give it a good shake. It's emulsified, looks good. I'm gonna taste it and see if it needs anything else. It's really good. I am gonna add a little lemon, but that has really nice grapefruit notes. And I think that will be perfect. There's enough salt. So I'm gonna keep this in the fridge and I'm gonna wait to dress the salad just before we serve it. I'm gonna finish it with a little bit of cilantro and mint leaves. I'm just gonna put those on top and I'm gonna have a bed of arugula underneath. So stay tuned. So we're gonna finish off our salad now. We've gotten our red onions out of the water, so they're nice and tang-free, but still have a nice crunch and a good flavor with the citrus. We've got some local frisee here that I got in my CSA share. So we're going to just combine some of that with the citrus and then finish it with some mint leaves. I'm just gonna hand tear these. I actually don't really need all the stems, but they would be good in something else like a slaw or something like that. And you just wanna hand tear it so that when your guests eat it, they're not trying to shove a huge leaf into their mouth and they get dressing all over their face. Then they have to cut it less. You wanna keep that delicious fresh flavor of the lettuce and not beat it up too much. I have rinsed it and given it a good spin in my salad spinner. Another good tip, if you wanna dry it out even more, is to just pop it in the fridge for a few minutes. That'll really dry it out. All right, so we've got some beautiful frisee. So I'm gonna go ahead and toss that with the citrus now and the red onion. Make sure you can see all the beautiful fruit. And you don't need much for, you know, a few girlfriends, just one little scoop for each person. You are gonna have some nice big roast beef sandwiches and individual pies for dessert. Okay, so then I'm just gonna finish it off with a little cilantro and some mint. I'm just gonna tear off the cilantro. You wanna try to avoid the stems because they can be very, very stringy. And you know, sometimes people will mistake that for a hair. Never good, especially in a household with 3 cats. So I'm just gonna remove any of the tough stems and just leave the leaves whole. Looks beautiful. And then a couple mint leaves on top. I think mint and citrus is a delicious combination. I think people need to use mint more. I love utilizing mint in pea purees and anything with scallions. I think scallion and mint is a delicious combination. But we're gonna do cilantro today. So then we're just gonna give it one more toss. Make sure we have some of the beautiful citrus on top. If you wanna get really fancy, you can place each citrus segment on top, but I think that's unnecessary. So then when you're ready to serve, you'll just top it with the dressing, add a little more salt and pepper, and dig in. Bon appetit. If you're hangry for more, make sure you've subscribed to Hangry District YouTube channel right here.